All right, so when your ex texts you out of the blue, something like hi or what's up or something like that, it can leave you really confused. What do they want? How should I respond? All that sort of stuff. And we're going to go ahead and get into all of this. But first, it's important to understand the psychology of why they might be doing this. First of all, they are probably doing this because they're really just testing the waters, testing the temperature to see kind of where you're at. They just want to put something out there to see how you're going to respond. They're not really coming out with a lot because honestly, most people don't want to risk vulnerability and pour their heart out and say, hey, I miss you. Hey, this is what's on my mind or something. So instead, they just send out this simple little thing just to test for temperature, like hi, or what's new, or how are you doing, or something like that. It's not my recommended way of initiating contact, but there's people out there that are going to do whatever they're going to do. And why exactly is your ex contacting you basically in this sort of way? Well, it's usually one of these couple of things here. Usually they miss you. They feel guilty about something that happened in the past, maybe some previous fight that you had or some disagreement or something that didn't end on good terms. Maybe they have regrets about the breakup or again, maybe some fight or something like that. Or maybe they just don't know what to do and they just don't want to risk that vulnerability. So they're just sending you this message because they want to connect with you. They want to somehow feel some kind of connection with you. And so they're just sending out this message. And so basically they're just trying to take your temperature to see where you're at, to see like how responsive you are. Are you still upset? Are you closed off? Are you open? Are you receptive? All these sorts of things. Now, the important thing to know about this is that this is probably not a mind game. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that there's all sorts of mind games happening, that everyone's trying to play everyone else, everyone's playing hard to get, reverse psychology and all of that. Again, that is a possibility. But you know your ex better than I do, better than any other weirdo on the internet. If they have it in them to actually do these, mind game manipulative sort of things. If they do, then okay, maybe they are doing it out of some sort of mind game manipulation sort of motive. But if you know them to be a genuine sort of person, they're probably just being genuine here and they just don't know how to deal with their emotions of curiosity about you. I just know that this most likely isn't a mind game. Most people out there are decent, good people who are just trying to live their best life. And they're not trying to go out of their way to manipulate you or, use you as their narcissistic supply or any other like weird stuff like that. There's a very slim percentage of people that, might try to do something like that, but most people are just normal, good, easygoing people. What I recommend that you do if you're experiencing this kind of thing is to actually invest a small amount just to see how they reply. Basically, this is where we get into this whole idea of levels of investment. They invested this small amount by saying something like hi. And you could respond by saying like, oh my goodness, it's great to hear from you. This is what's been going on. I miss you so much, blah, 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 blah. But that is a very high level investment. And now the whole social interaction is way out of balance. Of course, you could just say hi. They could say hi, and then you could say hi back. And then the two of you are at a sort of stalemate, in which case, okay, maybe they stop responding and there's not a whole lot there. But what you could do, what I'd recommend that you do, assuming you want to stay in contact with them and see how they're doing and connect with them, is they say hi, you say something like, oh, hey, good to hear from you. You'll never guess what happened with my job or whatever it might be, right? And now suddenly you're investing a little bit more and you're inviting them to invest a little bit more as well too. And then slowly the two of you can have this kind of conversation where you start to up the level of investment through rapport building, connection, and all of that sort of stuff. This is what we want to do so that the social interaction doesn't get too far out of balance one way or another. What we want to do is we want to get into that emotional level of rapport, emotional level of connection that we've talked about in many other videos inside of the X Solution program, inside of Effortless Connection, inside of Authentic Data. I mean, like this is really super important, which is why we cover it in pretty much most of our programs that we talk about. This is what you really want to make sure that you're doing, is building this emotional level of connection through rapport building. If you want to understand a little bit more about what your ex is thinking in situations like this, or perhaps other situations, you might want to check out this video series over here on what your ex is thinking. Anyway, take care, and I'll talk to you next time.